Now I'd like to welcome to the stage Keisha Bahr, who is the chair for Coral Reef and Ocean Health, as well as an assistant professor of marine biology at the Harte Research Institute in Corpus Christi, Texas. Keisha?
Thank you, and I want to thank you all for inviting me. So Dr. Sylvia Earle just let me know that she would like to have this opportunity to talk with you all, and with respecting my elders and understanding how much she has given to the women who have come before me, I would like to invite her to the stage to talk about the work that she has done, because I would be really excited to hear from her if that is okay with everyone else. So please welcome Dr. Sylvia Earle.
Let's do this together.
Okay, sounds good.
I think you should continue with your journey.
Okay.
I'll weigh in with a few minutes.
Okay, perfect. Wow. I would say, first of all, it's an opportunity to share the stage with such a giant in the field. I was growing up in a small town in Ashland, Ohio, which is a small, far town in Ohio. And my interactions with the ocean were very, very minimal. Actually, the first time I experienced the ocean, my sister, I think I was 2 years old, my sister got stung by a jellyfish. And from that moment, I never really got to see what was in the ocean, so I was immediately terrified, because I think we all believe that what we do not know, what we do not understand, it has a huge impact on us and it creates fear. So I continued growing up trying to get some opportunity to figure out what I was going to do, and I didn't have the first opportunity to explore the ocean until I was in high school. And I actually took advantage of this opportunity because I learned more about what Dr. Sylvia Earle was doing. And I had this curiosity, this itch that I could not let go of. And I needed to see what was underneath that water. I needed to know what was down in the mysterious, vast ocean that was concealing these secrets. And I wanted to know more about that. So I think it would be really great for you, Dr. Earle, to tell us a little bit more about your first experience with the ocean.
I first met the ocean when I was 3. I got knocked over by a wave. The ocean got my attention, and it's held my attention ever since. But like you, it's life in the ocean, and I'm so pleased to be here with a superstar, Keisha, at Harte Research Institute, filling a role that really is critical. It's about life in the ocean. Ocean is not just rocks and water. And you provide such a perspective at a time when we need to know what's under the surface. We know so much about the top and even diving down to where divers can go. But most of the ocean is all the rest. It's not the bottom, it's not the top, it's that juicy part in the middle.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about coming here today is to raise awareness about the unique ecosystems that we have here in the Gulf. So I did a lot of my study in the Pacific, and I learned about coral reefs and deep water ecosystems, about what was happening in the Pacific. And immediately when I came to Texas, I had no idea that there is a beautiful coral reef, the Flower Garden Banks, here in the Gulf of Mexico. And I think a lot of us and a lot of other people do not know about this valuable resource that we have here in the Gulf, and it has among the highest coral cover across the Caribbean. It is such a unique resource that we do not know about, and we just expanded the sanctuary to include more banks and more mesophotic areas that we still do not know what is there and how we can protect it moving forward. And that's why I think it's very important to talk about the technology that can help bring those areas, those new areas to life, which Dr. Earle, you've done a lot of doing that for us.
We're just using scuba, even a face mask and fins. They were not readily available when my parents were kids, or even when I was a kid. So most of what we know about the ocean has really been learned since the middle of the 20th century, and all of us are the beneficiaries of this greatest era of exploring the ocean in all of human history. And it's just so great that you are here in Texas to tell the world and share your research on the corals that represent a really significant part of what we need to know. They're indicators of health or lack of it. And, you know, the deeper we go, the less we know, but the more new discoveries we're finding. And one of the things we're discovering is, unlike the impression that many people seem to have, that, oh, the Gulf is is gone. All the things that have taken place there since the middle of the 20th century, whether it's pipelines or ship traffic or fishing or whatever, they've kind of written off the Gulf. Don't even think about writing off the Gulf of Mexico. It really rocks. There's so much out there that is in great condition. And having you here to lead exploration and to celebrate life in the Gulf is a real gift to everyone.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate that coming from you. And I think one of the biggest things that we can do together as a community is raise the awareness of the unique ecosystems that we have here in the Gulf, how much we do not know about them. And if we do not know anything about them, what's there, what treasures they lie, new stories and discoveries, then we cannot save them. So we do need to explore them more, and a lot of it is beyond the reach of scuba depths, like you were saying.
Right. Well, beyond scuba depth, it's most of the ocean. It's most of the living world. It's almost 95% of the biosphere. Living in the dark, living in the cold water, as well as the warm water up near the surface. But we're so fortunate to be around at a time when there are remotely operated vehicles, when there are autonomous underwater vehicles, when there are little submarines. Haha, I can't wait to be in a submarine with you, Keisha.
That would be amazing. I have not been a submarine yet. I've only been fortunate to do scuba depths down to about 120 feet. But a lot of the things that we don't know, we do need to go deeper. And in order to go deeper, we need to have that technology to do so, because there's so many other things that we do not know about that we need to learn about.
And learn about those areas that are still in great condition and do everything that we can to keep them in good condition.
Exactly. And I think one of the biggest concerns is we all know what impacts we've had on our shallow water reefs, our coral reefs, and other ecosystems, but we do not know what potential impacts we might have on these deeper reef systems. And when there becomes more interest and desire to do any kind of extraction of those living resources, we need to know what's there first and better know how to protect it in order to make sure that it's there for future generations.
Do you have a moment for you to tell everybody what you're doing?
Well, yeah, a lot of things that we're trying to focus on right now is understand how the corals are doing at the flower garden banks. How will they fare in the future? Can we hold on to them? Will they be there for our future generations? And a lot of the questions that we have is we don't even know the extent of where the reefs are going, what kind of reefs are down there, what kind of information we have, and how to better protect them. So working together across all of these different agencies, and of course all of it being pioneered by Dr. Earl here, is we really need to act fast, because we are losing corals very, very, very fast, and we might not have them
around the world.
Right.
Are gone since the middle of the 20th century. Yeah.
And we're not sure if they will persist past 2050. So we're really holding on there. But I will say, having the flower garden banks and all the work that you've done in the Gulf has been such a treasure, and bringing that information to light is one of the best things that we can do to help preserve them moving forward.
I've had the joy of being out there a few days after the last full moon of summer, around 9:15 in the evening. Something magical happens, and all at once, certain species just explode, sending their next generation up into the water column. And the cool thing is, it's not just the corals. Little brittle starfish, bright red, the polychaete worms, all sorts of critters, and sponges, and some of the mollusks too, so that up at the surface there's like a cross-section of a baby coral reef that drifts and settles down into places where there's an appropriate place for them, that both restore what's been lost and maybe start some new places.
Exactly. And I know we're out of time, and I want to thank everyone for your flexibility and allowing for Dr. Earl and myself to share the stage. Thank you so much, Dr. Earl, for coming up here. This has been an amazing experience. And if you ever want to talk about the flower garden banks, the Gulf, coral reefs, technology, submersibles, everything, you know where to find us. Thank you very much.
So the one who is scheduled to be Liz's daughter, Liz Taylor, is my daughter. So she said, "Mom, can you go?" And you, thank you. Thank you for being such a star.
Thank you all.